And we're back for game number 2 here. JDL Season 3, Division 1, the European Division actually. mYinsanity, the Serbians versus Crypsis, formerly known as Goomba, but like they're everything but a German team at the moment. They went European, international, however you want to call it, and yeah, with a completely new roster, they want to go and seek out more success. They weren't successful first game. The draft, we had a lot of, how can I say it, resentments against like Chronos versus RP and Black Hole, and to be honest, in the end we were kinda right with it, even though I still think that it was more about the positioning, more about giving away like 4 versus 1, 5 versus 1 situations instead of like going for a proper team fight. But maybe even the team fights would have not been the right decision. So let's see, game number 2, new draft, new luck.
Yeah, game number 1 was really messy for Crypsis. I think a large part about how their early game went was obviously detrimental to their later game. The Shenya Skywrath Mage, I don't think has landed like a single Mystic Flare in that game. Like, I don't remember there being devastating Mystic Flares, and if you're not using Skywrath for that damage, then what are you using him for? The silence was obviously very nice, especially against Marana, but you need damage as well early game, and Crypsis, well, their draft is underway. They're going to go for full-on push, it looks like. Death Prophet, Shadow Shaman instantly being taken for them. mYinsanity have a Faceless Void, so they can potentially jump on this push before it gets to their tower.
Yep, absolutely. And, well, to be honest, he landed quite some Mystic Flares, but mostly they were just a response against the Faceless Void. But even when he was caught there in the trees, it came so late that they waited just till it came up and then forced stuff instantly out, and everything else was pretty much into the chrono to drive the Void away. But then there was enough follow-up damage anyway, even without the Void. So yeah, like Skywrath Mage felt very useless last game, I have to admit that.
And also just their team fight didn't come together. There was no Wombo combo. There was no 3-man RP ever. Their Black Holes was only used like once really effectively. And well, Crypsis aren't going to have to deal with that this game because they're not going to go for that huge AoE kind of team fight lineup. They're just going to go straight on pushing mYinsanity. To deal with this, they need lots of initiation and lots of early game lane control. Faceless Void is a decent start, and now they're going to seriously consider what they want next. I wouldn't mind seeing a Razor here.
Yep, absolutely not. I mean, Razor's still in there, but they go for the Skywrath Mage, which is even a bit more synergy Faceless Void. I mean, you don't save that core, it might as well just getting banned now, but yeah. We had Skywrath Mage and Faceless Void on opposite sides last game, and we just talked about it. Now on the same side, no way you can miss this one. Like, there's no way you can miss this one unless there's 4-stuffing forth and back all the time.
Yeah, between Chronosphere into Mystic Flare, people like Death Prophet can eventually survive that, but at the early stages, even Death Prophet, who you would like to say is tanky, isn't that survivable versus that amount of burst damage. So Crypsis, if they want to defend against that, I think their only chance is to either jump on the Skywrath Mage, Faceless Void before they get that combo off, so timing is one option, or something like Eventual Spirit would be the safer option, I guess, or the more secure option. But either way, it's going to be really painful for them. Crypsis, they're going to make the smart bans and get rid of a lot of team fighting in a Tidehunter. Wouldn't be surprised to even see a Centaur, or, oh, there you go, just Viper, very tanky hero to get rid of him. And mYinsanity, they've kicked out a lot of supports.
I'm surprised that man, what's wrong with me today? Like, I read Razor say Tinker. Before that I said Draw instead of Void. I think I should go back to sleep. I mean,
they're all
or
blue.
Maybe I should sleep at all, like something like that.
They're all blue, so it's like
yeah,
kind of
that must be it. I'm just confused by the colors. Like, they should make a colorblind version of Dota for me. Actually, there is, but I don't think that affects the hero colors, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just the map is not red and green. It's something else. I have no idea.
No, okay. Well, maybe we should play in the colorblind one for me, even though I'm not colorblind. Either way, I'm surprised the Razor is not getting banned out. Like, I'm really surprised about this, but sure, if they want to. But this is dangerous though. Like, right now, okay, we have a Faceless Void, we have a Skywrath Mage, it's a nice combo. You can pretty much make each and every fight -1. But still, even if they're still standing, there's still an Exorcism ticking, there's wards possibly up, there is Eye of the Storm ticking. Like, if they have just an advantage fight, or someone even backed up with the Aegis that is getting down in the Chronosphere, then they can just say like, okay guys, we just keep on fighting, because just imagine Arcanum Scepter on that Razor, that's triple push, and a push you can't really do anything against.
That is true, but mYinsanity are going to look to make the fight ideally happen before the Exorcism, before the Serpent Wards are deployed. Chronosphere is one of the best ways of doing that. I think Ravage is also the second best way of doing that. Witch Doctor, Skywrath Mage are both two support heroes who have a lot of synergy with the Faceless Void in that you could put down all your spells in that Chronosphere and they will just demolish the Crypsis side, pretty much no questions asked. And Crypsis, they only have one disabler, or I guess a couple of ways. Shadow Shaman can get his Hex off. Shackle's probably not going to happen. Death Prophet does have a long-range silence to deal with that. So Crypsis have a couple of answers, but I don't know if they have enough answers. If they get caught in the Chronosphere, they're going to die.
Yep, absolutely. And this is... I don't like those drafts that like put too much emphasis on the chrono, because I've seen games where the chronos were just horrible, or they were just brought down. Like, just imagine this Faceless Void going down for whatever reason, then mYinsanity is pretty much screwed. Then again, if you look back on game number 1, the chronos were there, sometimes on 1 target only, but mostly on 2, sometimes 3, and it just worked out. So, just assuming the Void will be just as reliable in placing the chronos, and in his like farm, which he got like quite decently off his laning stage. I mean, both of the farmers in that lane managed to get the Midas, and they only got 1 kill on the Skywrath Mage. Apart from that, there was no crazy action in that top lane. But let's just assume he is just as reliable. Then, yeah, mYinsanity is definitely on a good trip here, I guess.
Yeah, and it would be so different if mYinsanity had access to a Tidehunter. Just having those two giant AoE skills and synergizing with your 2 supports would be such a game changer. If Faceless Void gets shut down for whatever reason, gets hexed, gets initiated upon, whatever. At this point, mYinsanity, their fighting is pretty much gone. I mean, obviously, they just have 1 hero and 2 supports, so they do have 2 more picks to fix this, but they would like some other backup huge AoE ultimate that is pretty reliable and doesn't get much more reliable than a Ravage. So Crypsis, that ban is going to be absolutely huge for them moving forward. They're taking their time for their 4th pick, and they do have some pretty devastating push right now, and it looks like they're going to back it up for a little bit more early game as they short Mirana for their laning stage.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, Mirana, I don't know if I like it, and wow. To be honest, I don't even want to talk about the Mirana, because that Invoker adds another like damage source into the chrono, like even early on. That is, I don't know, Skywrath Mage, Witchdog, Invoker, and all they need is the perfect chrono setup. If that Faceless Void is getting multiple targets into the chrono, then I think all of them will die. And there's still like so much space to improve even that damage. I mean, the Invoker, at least for the laning stage or for mid game, he might even not be present, but he can still land the Sunstrike. And we have the Death Ward, which is level 1, but there's still always the upgrade of the Arcanum Scepter, which makes it just insane. And of course, Skywrath Mage. Well, I haven't seen an Arcanum Scepter Skywrath Mage in about ages, and at least in the Pro Dota scene. But still, like, of course, his intelligent pool is gonna increase, which means he's also gonna be able to make a lot of things happen, even on a secondary target in the chrono. And okay, I leave that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I freaking love Ogre Magi, guys. And Gruzin's going to be playing it. Gruzin was playing the farming Mirana last game. You guys are in for a treat. I'm in for a treat. I don't even care about you guys. This Ogre Magi is going to be so much fun. Bloodlust is going to be pretty good later on for Faceless Void early. I think this might just be a very aggressive Ignite Fire Blast Ogre Magi.
This is a farming one, because Gruzin is on it.
I mean, gotta lay the smackdown, and Crypsis did pick up a Queen of Pain for Exist, which is also a fairly rare pick, but I've seen enough Queen of Pain in my lifetime to not be too surprised at this. Maybe not as much nowadays, but Ogre Magi, as much as I love the hero, I don't think he really fits here.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, Queen of Pain on the other side, so who's going mid? I mean, this is Exist mid, the Death Prophet being the tri-line farmer. It's definitely interesting, but to be honest, like this very, let's say, solid draft of Crypsis, like it just got overshadowed by the fact that mYinsanity, I don't know if they are like in the mood like, hey guys, we just took game number 1, and on that wave we just keep on serving and maybe try something new. I definitely like it. I mean, I'm just excited to see it, so maybe I'm not even properly impartial anymore. Either way, we're gonna introduce the teams really fast for those who just joined here. Welcome here on the HeflaTV channel, part of HeflaTV. Feel free to follow, of course, if you like what we did so far. HeflaTV 1 and 2, they are also online with games, but of course, me and Mike, we're happy if you join us here. Either way, we have LeBron now here on the Watchdog. Victor is playing the Skyrife Mage, and then here, Mr. Grisine, the farming Orcra. We have top Smite again on the Faces Boy. Did a good job in game number 1, but let's see how he's playing now. Celadon in the mid on the Invoker, and now we have 5
lane.
Oh god.
Arrow onto the Faces Void. They're going to start things off really quickly. They need the Shackle, and they will land it as well. That's going to be first blood. Super aggressive play from Crypsis.
Yep, like Smite was probably nose picking there or getting a drink or something. He did not expect 5 men showing up there, like at the tier 2 tower. So yeah, a nice start for Crypsis, obviously, but I guess it was shared amongst all people, all 5 there. So apart from the gold, there's not too much advantage when we look at the laning stage right now. This is like a creep worth of XP for each and every one of them. Of course, it's a good start. I don't want to talk it down. I'm just saying that, like, yeah. If it was just 2 people or so, that would have been quite a significant advantage because, oh, Damas, you don't want to be there. There's the stun. What else do we have? Look at the right clicks. Now there's the stun. Do we have Flare coming out? Maybe the slow would have been better here for the right clicks, but yeah, still keep on going. But oh my god, he runs directly into Arrow. Crit helped him there. He's gonna get beyond the tower. I think the slow might have been better.
Yeah, Ignite does do more damage, plus it lets you, in general, get more right clicks in. Shadow Shaman's going to chase them down, but it looks like everyone from mYinsanity should be able to escape. The Shadow Shaman does have boots. Shackle is going to be really long, plus an arrow to follow up, but this is an Ogre Magi we're talking about. You can't just go ahead and kill him. Cask now going to bounce through. Zen's taking a lot of damage, and they're going to kill off the Shadow Shaman. Now a stun onto the Death Prop. They're going to completely surround this hero and blow her up too. LeBron looks like he will go down. One more arrow will kill him off, but now Crit has hit level 2. He will be able to jump through the trees and will be just fine. But still, it is a 2-for-1 trade down in the bottom lane.
It's just amazing what we see here. We saw a first blood like happening 30 seconds before everything started, but oh, look, Exist, super aggressive now here down the tower, but of course he doesn't have aggro. Like if he has, no, he doesn't have Scream, but he will get Scream pretty much soon, but who needs Scream when you just have the right clicks there? Exist is getting that kill in the mid, so another good start for him.
And top lane, Quick's going to dive the Faces Void pretty hard, but will get forced out in the end. Yeah, it's a pretty chaotic start, and with an Ogre Magi on your team, that's exactly the kind of start that you would want 100% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I love this start. This is 5 kills in 1 minute 30. That's like so much KPM here, right there.
Yeah, so I said that the Ogre Magi didn't really fit into this game, but if they play this game super aggressively, then it kind of does make a little bit more sense. Or usually Ogre Magi is just a purely aggressive hero, and with the Invoker and Faces Void pickup, that doesn't really fit well, but hell, this bottom lane, they can put all the pressure as they want, because Death Prophet, she will be pressured back very, very far, and if they catch a single stun on her or on the Shadow Shaman, then they're just going to die really quickly.
Yep, absolutely. There's a slow here on Dumbass, but Crit is there. Stunning, really low range on Victor here, so in the end, everything is just going back to normal here.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go for it, but LeBron does have that Voodoo Restoration, so all that chip damage will be pretty much nullified down to 0. Also, eventually, not quite yet, when they do get that stun and the secondary stun, they will have Invoker Sunstrike to back it up. I don't know if that will be completely necessary, but it will certainly make sure that everyone from Crypsis, if they do get hit with a stun, they will go into a grave. So, mYinsanity have a pretty devastating tri-lane here. They have to make sure to not let up.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, like right now, if you look at it, I mean, the bottom lane got sort of salvaged after this fight because they had this 2-1 trade here. So that was kind of okay. The first blood happened. Doesn't really matter. It was 30 seconds before the game even started. But the problem is at the moment for mYinsanity, mid is not going so well. We have the Invoker at the moment with a 10-5, but Exist is with a 10-1 on the other side. The only difference is he got already that 1 kill on Exist. So, not on Exist, on Celadon. But well, if I look top, we have to actually compare the CS right now. 18-3 on the Razor, and on the other side we only have 8-1 on Smy. So Smy, apart from experience, he's not having the best game here, and Quicks is just driving him out with that, of course, with that static link all the time.
That's the price mYinsanity pay for picking up such an aggressive tri-lane, leave the Faces Void alone versus a Razor. That's never going to be a good recipe for that Void. So they have to make some of this loss up in the other lanes, and although the bottom lane is doing okay, I don't think it's doing well enough for mYinsanity right now.
Yep. It's, well, let's see. I mean, the problem about the Ogre is that the Ogre is one of those heroes who needs levels really fast. That you get the RNG factor of this hero rolling. But well, oh, top Smy. This one is actually quite dangerous. Look at all the right clicks here, but oh, nice one. That time lapse, that really saved his life. Otherwise, the second tick of the plasma field, that would have been his death, unless he is really lucky with all the backtracks. Only level 1 backtrack, 10%. Sometimes it feels like 90% rather than 10. But either way, let's see. Maybe they want to go on Dumbus, but he always has the Mirana besides him for that arrow. Michaelorus. I think my co-caster is gone. I didn't see anything happening, but Queen of Pain in the mid gets the kill, but it's a 1-1 trade. But at the same time, we have a dive here under the tower. Dom is the first one to fall, but he's still not quite down there. He needs one more hit. At the moment, there's 2 down. The Witch Dog was the first to fall. Victor, oh my god, this is really bad news for mYinsanity. In the mid, that was a horrible one, and now Crypsis, he runs away with the salve being up on him, and well, all they need is another slow, and I think they might gonna find it. Yes, with Exist here, there's the slow right after the scream, and with Shenya, the shackles should come uphill. Okay, this gives him another second time, but oh, he turns around. Well, a slow on both. This is of course good news, but the other shock, the lightning fingers are finishing the entire job. This is a 7-3 here for Crypsis in the 10th minute. That's really, really bad news. Smite top, well, oh my god, damage stolen, 112. This is also bad news. These trades all over the map, they were everything but good. We just have to find I don't know, something. But mYinsanity, there's everything on Quicks. Everything we talked about in the draft. That was the Sunstrike and the first chrono of this game. So at least they get the Razor kill. Quite a high value kill for Smite, because that gives him at least some time and at least a bit breathing in this lane. I mean, he can find some CS right now. But then again, we have also Exist here on the hunt pretty much soon with that double damage. That's the best thing you can ever do, of course. Invoker in the mid. He has the boots right now, but to be honest, if I were him, I would be having my Ghost Walk already, because Exist with that double damage, I think it's just a matter of time till he goes aggressive against it. Maybe even with someone rotating in. And by the way, my co-caster just blue screened, but he will be back, I hope, at least in some minutes. He just told me he blue screen. So yeah, let's see. I mean, Crypsis, that's the problem, sharing the XP all the time. We're 7 minutes in and he's just level 4, even halfway away still to level 5. He needs that level 6, that in those engagements they have at least this RNG there. Oh, but arrow not connecting on anything. So Razor being back, Smy being alone, but where's Smy? Actually, he went back to base. I don't even know for what that exactly was, but well, at least that gives Scarab Mage the opportunity to go for something. But oh, Victor, he just got slow. That would have been a nice opening for the Rasta, but he comes just in from the other side. There's the Hex at the shock and Shackles. Easy one with a level 4, but at the same time, they get a kill on Dumbus. I think that was... what was that? That was Paralyzing, Cast, Ignite, and Stun, and that was just enough. And Crypsis, I say, Crit couldn't do anything there at the same time. So 1-1 trade after all. I guess that's okay-ish for the fact that top was only a support. Well, it's at least good news for Crit. He might get some experience here. The Moonlight Shadow, it had a quite high impact in game 1. So getting level 60 on the Mirana might actually be something worth for. We are in the 8th minute now. Already swapped to net worth because I was really curious. At the moment, the Invoker's still doing okay-ish, even after he died against Exist. Maybe now we see something here in the mid. Scarab Mage with his silence. It could work out on the Queen of Pain, but I need a lot of damage, obviously. We also have to see what Smy is doing next, because the Chronosphere is ready. So it's just a matter of time till we see the next Chrono looking for something. Right now, without rotations, we only have the Sunstrike into the Chrono, plus of course the right clicks of Faceless Void. But Faceless Void, Power Threats, Pullman Shield, and one branch. That's the only damage source we have. But of course, there's the Scarab Mage. And this might be actually it. He can jump on Quicks. That is Seal plus Slow plus at least 1 or 2 Arcane Bolts for the duration of the Chronosphere. The right clicks coming in. I think that might be enough for a Razor kill. So any second now, they might jump him. Oh, and just talked about it, and there we go. Sunstrike on top of it, and is there a Seal? Seal is actually coming out, but at the same time Exist is coming in. He's getting Victor here, so Quix is not going down, but Exist getting stunned, and Smy is like, ah guys, I'm just TPing out. So in the end, that was a fail chrono. The Razor just too tanky, or just not enough damage. Oh, Shenya, he gets the casket in the face just because they were afraid that something is happening here, but oh, Exist, he has a haste rune, does he? Yes, he does have a haste rune, and the Invoker, well, he's going back, he has to, but Exist, well, he got everything he wanted. A kill top, now he's back to mid, driving out the Invoker out of lane. So 9 and 5, 10 minutes in. mYinsanity's draft, the draft as such is kind of okay, but the laning stage was kind of a disaster. It really was a disaster. And I'm still hoping for my co-caster to come in. I feel so lonely. But let's see. He will come whenever possible. So let's see. I think it's, well, 10 minutes. This is usually where I show the first class. But first of all, I'm curious if something is happening here. Because Cuisine, they have vision on him. So, oh, there's the Hex. There are the Shackles. But the Silence will come. So he might dodge this. Oh, God, Victor. Victor is eating that arrow now. Oh, that was even a multicast. So he has to go back with the casket flying there. And the Death Ward doing so much damage. But Exist is just cleaning up. This is a double kill already. Dumbass there with the Exorcism. So much damage on Cuisine as well. But he's at least running away. So still, it's a 2-for-0 trade, and the support's just surviving barely. I mean, what is barely? Oh, there's a Sunstrike! It actually gets him. It actually gets him quite nice here. This Observer Ward made it possible, and now he's like, the rage pings are coming out. He's like, God damn it, there's an Observer Ward, guys, where's this ward? So he might actually come back to this lane and try to de-ward, but of course, it was overall just a better trade. There might be a casket coming out so they can chase. Because there's Christine. Smy is actually not here. He's still busy farming. What is that? Rave Band. Okay. Interesting. Tower Deny is coming out. Well, at least a bit less gold for Crypsis, even though they already own the gold and experience. So let's see. My co-caster should be back. Welcome, Mr. Blue Screen.
Yeah, hasn't happened in a long time, and hopefully it won't happen again. Otherwise, I'll really have to start looking into it. But if it was just a one-time thing, then I think we should be okay. It looks like I missed quite a bit, and MYI, they're suddenly in a lot of trouble.
You missed a fail chrono, you missed a nice fight here around, but the problem is Crypsis always coming out victorious out of those fights. That's at the moment the biggest problem for MII. They really try, but the problem is like there's just so much damage and disable, especially Exist having a blast this game.
Yeah, 6-1 Queen of Pain. Oh, he's been really collecting. They're going to drop the Death Ward onto Dumbass. They might be able to bring this Death Prophet down. She's tanky. Not tanky enough. That Death Ward almost got the full channel onto that Death Prophet. Actually, did get the full channel onto that Death Prophet. So MYI get what I'm assuming is a much-needed kill for them, because Crypsis seem to be having a fairly nice hold in this game. The aggressive tri-lane, I guess, just didn't pan out for MYI.
No, it did not. It just did not. Even with the multicast and everything, it was just not enough. Now, I mean, they get the tier 1 tower undenied, and, well, at least upside. So, a high value kill plus a tower. That should give them some recuperation. But, oh, Christine, this is a bad TP. Now, he's been held in place. But, oh, they're gonna get this kill. But there's another rotation. And, to be honest, they might even go for it, because that's Victor. And with 70 damage stolen, you might as well just do it. Oh, there's the negative urn charge. One more hit is just needed, and yeah, there we go. 2 TPs that were very, very bad. Oh, Casket. He wanted to interrupt him there, but at least maybe they get Shenya. No, they really don't find it. I can't believe this. So they get away with murder, both of them.
That actually could have been even worse for mYinsanity, as LeBron could have been the victim of, you know, another Razor lashing, and that's never what you want to have happen. They throw themselves one at a time into a Razor. Just stealing that damage initially made him a large enough threat. He didn't even need backup there, quite honestly. Like, after they killed off the Ogre Magi, it could have just been the Razor taking 2 or 3 more heroes, and he would have died by the time he killed through the third, but he's super defensive with the unstable current. There's nothing that really MYI could do about this Razor outside of just straight up bursting him with many heroes, or catching him in the Chronosphere, which obviously wasn't there either.
Yep. Oh, but the arrow. Smy ate that arrow. It's not the longest one still. It's slowing the tower a bit down. To be honest, the only good thing is that, like, at the moment they get a lot of denies. That is really good news, at least for mYinsanity. They get the last hits on the tower. The only tower so far that has gone to Crypsis was the tower for Exist in the mid. Everything else has been denied, but I think they're gonna rotate into bottom pretty much soon. And To be honest, I think we have to see some Chronosphere action pretty much soon.
Yeah, the Chronosphere are going to have to line up for mYinsanity, and we've talked about this in the draft. If they do get a nice Chronosphere off, then it can be game-changing for them. Crypsis are going to get absolutely shredded due to the Mystic Flares, the Ogre Magi input, the Death Ward, the Invoker Sunstrike, all this good stuff to put into that Chronosphere if they do land it. That's a big if, but if it does come together, then they could very easily redeem all of this deficit that they have right now.
Yeah, I mean the biggest problem at the moment is that mYinsanity, apart from that Chronosphere plus whatever combination comes into it, they're just not ready to fight. They're just not ready to fight because, for example, Krazine is supposed to be the mech carrier, but he's quite far away from it. I mean, at the moment he doesn't even have headdress. He's going for the buckler at the moment. Like, Victor doesn't have much because he was dying all the time. The Witch Dog, well, the Urn Charges, that's something okay-ish to have, but the problem is he doesn't get charges at the moment. The Invoker, well, it took him quite a time till he managed to get the Midas up, and well, Smy, I still don't know for what that Wraith Band is, but he has it. At least the Midases are ticking. 2 Midases versus 0, so that's at least good news. But to be honest, I think Crypsis, they soon gonna like just press the red button and say like, hey guys, let's go and push. We only have to see if they find out this Roshan. I don't know for what the pause is coming out. Nobody's giving a reason, but at least this gives us time to look at the graphs. At the moment we have 3k advantage here for Crypsis. It's okay, represents what we had there, and well, in gold. It's funny though, they lost quite a bit, like after they got the towers now, the 2 Midases and everything, and the tower denies, so mYinsanity surprisingly well, even though they trade horribly and fight horribly at the moment, when it comes to farm and experience, they salvage a lot of it.
mYinsanity, they're going to go for the late game, and I think this is a risky decision, but it's a decision that is kind of appropriate. Queen of Pain's pretty much game's time is right about now. She has her Orchid, so she could pretty much solo kill anybody. mYinsanity, they could try to brace up against that, but I think in the long run that will ultimately just make them fail since Queen of Pain is so strong. So you might as well try and take this into a super late stage where they won't really scale that well, the Crypsis side, at least not compared to your Faceless Void and your Invoker. They're going to be running the show in the late game if it does get to that stage. So Crypsis have to make sure to not sit back and do nothing. If they do that, they're going to be throwing away this game. If they go for tier 2 tower pushes, then they could very easily secure this and punish the fact that mYinsanity bought, 4,000 gold worth of dead items.
Absolutely, and well, I'm curious if they still want to go for that Roshan. I mean, the Invoker could do it alone with the next 4 spirits. He should be able to do it. Those run out, he will resummon them right now, and the question is, does Crypsis know about it? It's going to be a very slow Roshan as such, but it should be just fine if the micro of the 4 spirits is coming out, and at the moment it looks like it, so well, maybe Smy is gonna time walk in. Yeah, he's actually gonna go for it. So this might be even Chronosphere, I say, Aegis on him. But let's see, at the same time, it might be a Roshan for a tier 2 trade, even though the wards, this is a strange position, but even the last wards, no. The very outer wards to the left, they don't hit the tower, but they don't even need to. Quix is gonna get that tier 2 tower. It's a trade, I guess a trade you can do.
I think Crypsis are actually going to be okay with that. Yes, they could have crashed the Roshan pit, but if you go into that area, then Faceless Void has much better positioning, so his Chronosphere is most likely going to land on more people. They get a tower in exchange. It's much better than sitting back and doing nothing, and most crucially, they still have the exorcism up for the Death Prophet, so they could look to go for even more. Their bottom lane tower is going to be a little bit of a distraction for MYI, actually, as the rest of Crypsis, they are just going to group up in mid. They use Serpent Wards for top. I think it's time to use the exorcism for mid, and yes, they are going to pop that ultimate. They don't have an Aghanim Razor, and they won't have one for a very long time, but they're at the very least forcing mYinsanity back. Here's time for the Chronosphere. Can they get a good one off? Because the boy's going to teleport in. Instantly gets silenced, though, and Sonic Wave. This won't kill him off just yet. He's waiting for that silence, but he will lose the Aegis in the end. That's going to be a lot of commitment for that Aegis, and I think Crypsis have just got to back off after that. Level 4 Time Walk, and he could still look for someone, but I don't think he's going to find anyone. Leap down from Crit, just barely making it to the low ground. Everyone's going to escape mYinsanity. They burn so many TPs. They hold on to their tower, and they might even deny it. So they still get cleaned up.
It's another tower deny, but this was very strange. I think he was hoping for, I don't know, some lucky backtracks and then go into the Chronosphere or something like that for a nice setup like Freeman Chrono, but I think the last Chrono we saw was around the 10-minute mark, so at the moment, like, I really think they need to start using the combo they have, the draft. at least. I mean, draft demands the chrono and everything around. I also haven't seen the Ogre Magi doing anything. It's really bad news because I don't know, like they're losing objective after objective, and at some point when that tier 2 bottom maybe falls, then Crypsis is going high ground, and even if you win the fights, if you're mYinsanity and you still win the fights, you might as well still be on the losing side of the game, because like objectives are going down slowly but steadily still. Like we have mass open walls, the X isn't doing quite some damage in the Razor. Well, he is almost done. Is he? No, wait. Is he not even going for the Arcanum Scepter? What did I see? I thought I saw a point booster and 2 ingredients already, but no. He doesn't have anything, but they want to go top though.
This could be really bad because Faceless Void does have this chrono. Suddenly I got Deja Vu, but now the Faceless Void going to get silenced. Can they bring him down? They're going to kill off Victor first. That's going to be a very nice kill for Quick, stealing a lot of damage from Grazine. Will also change focus to LeBron. They use the exorcism available. Where is this Faceless Void? He's just booking it. mYinsanity can no longer fight. They didn't have the Invoker down here, and I don't know if the Faceless Void can escape. Another silence and a jump forward from Exist. This is going to be Faceless Void's death again, shortly after losing that Aegis. They hold on to their Serpent Wards, although, well, Shadow Shaman, for some reason, trying to pick a fight with the Invoker, not a good idea. Razor's going to teleport down here. He might be able to clean this Invoker up, though it does seem unlikely. They lose a Shadow Shaman, unfortunately. If he was up top, they could have tried to go for high ground.
Yep. Oh, but Quick's right there, still dealing damage here. Quite a lot of damage even, because Ghost Walk doesn't interrupt it. In the end, it's a 3-for-1 trade. I guess Crypsis is just happy with this. They are not going high ground because they want the Master Open Wards, I guess. But I don't know what mYinsanity is doing. Like, also these arrows of crit at the moment, they make their life so much harder. Like, I mean, the Void being silenced, okay, that's one thing. So the Chronosphere is a bit delayed. But also Victor, the one who actually has to silence, for example, the Queen of Pain, or someone else, just to not have everything coming out on them. Like, he also ate so many arrows this game, so he didn't even get any single spell out. So this 3-for-1 trade, it really looked just like a slaughter.
Oh, that's because that's exactly what it was. mYinsanity, they need so desperately this BKB on Faceless Void. The Orchid from the Queen of Pain alone is shutting him off so much, and when you don't have a Chronosphere, what's going to happen? You need some sort of front line. That's got to be, I guess at this point, Invoker, Forge Spirits, and Ogre Magi. That's not really enough when you're dealing with the Queen of Pain. She could easily hop right over, and now the Shadow Shaman can do the exact same thing. Bypass all those, and then start going for your squishies. Skywrath Mage got demolished by the Razor, as did the Witch Doctor. They really can't do anything without a good amount of space, and when you don't have a Chronosphere coming out, there is no space. Fortunately for them, Faceless Void is very close to his BKB, but he's going to need that to happen with a nice Chronosphere. That's a lot of pieces that need to line up for mYinsanity to take a good fight.
Yep, and well, we just had a short pause, but let's see what's happening now. One of those teams, they have to like do something, because I think at the moment that Cyprus, they could Crypsis, not Cyprus. Crypsis, they could push. I really have the distinct feeling that if they disable the Void again, like, which is pretty easy to do, all you have to do is like jump in as Queen of Pain, Orchid him. We have even a follow-up silence if you want to, and yeah, you get this Void down. There's the silence on Smy, and like the lone fact that he's getting silenced there is just scaring him already.
Yeah, even if he does pick up his BKB, it's at an unfortunate timing where Shenya does have a Blink Dagger on Shadow Shaman. So suddenly, the Queen of Pain isn't your #1 threat. It's actually this support hero. Blink into a Hex, and if they could burst the Faceless Void down, and I think they probably can with the Sonic Wave being committed, then the Faceless Void will not have a chance to get his BKB off. He does have it now finally completed, but still, it's not the end-all. It'll just help him a little bit. Hex is going to be a huge threat moving forward.
But still, like, if you look at the gold crafts, they're almost constant. Like, there's 1k up, 1k down. There's nothing you want to see in this game. But oh, Smy almost ate that arrow, but the creep is just throwing his body in the way.
What a hero. What a hero. But bottom lane, it looks like Razor, he is not going to go for the Aghanims. He's going to go the full-on lightning synergy with the Maelstrom. I don't like this that much. I think if you're going to be going for damage, you should be going for an Assault Cuirass with that Hyperstone instead of a Mjolnir. But they're going to go for it anyway. This might be... Crypsis being caught off guard. They deploy Cirque Wards and Extras, and they want a quick smash and grab, but they jump forward for Chronosphere. Only onto Dumbass. Is there any silence onto LeBron? There it is. The Shadow Shaman does jump into the back end, as does Exist. Sonic Wave onto 3. They lose the Witch Doctor immediately, but it is a 1-for-2 trade so far for mYi. They're going to walk right back into the wards and try to clean up Exist, though invisible. Going to keep hunting forward. Zimaj going to jump forward for Exist, and they do get the bashes off onto the Queen of Pain. They will bring him down as well. And now Shenya going to try to shackle up Grazine. He was taking so much damage, though. He's going to go down. And Crypsis, they are getting cleaned up. Crit is out of mana. He has stick charges, but he doesn't have a leap. Short time walk forward. That's going to be a full team wipe for mYinsanity. They finally get the team fight that they've been waiting for.
What a fight. Like, taking 2 out right at the start, the Exorcism and the Razor, and from there on it just went downhill. Exist really tried to like salvage this fight, and the funny part is, like, if there wasn't a seal on him, he might have come in and get a triple kill here. On that would have been Christine and Celadon Invoker, and on top of they might have even gotten Victor here on the Skyrath Mage. That would have been an easy triple kill for him, but yeah, this silence, some bashes, and also the Necros just following him up. That was bad news. So all of a sudden, we have to give it another like 30 seconds or a minute, and we're gonna look in the scraps, because I think this fight, it's maybe not evening out things, but it should do a lot of like way towards that 0 line again.
Dumbass is going to jump forward for the base void. They need a blink Hex, although it's a little bit too slow. They also missed the silence.
Yeah.
The silence at the very least would have popped the BKB charge for Faceless Void. That would have been a nice little win, but going for a pretty nice opportunity, ultimately getting nothing is for Crypsis.
I think they could have done better here, like instant hacks, for example, blink instant hacks, or the Yule Scepter into hacks, or just time your silent right. But apparently they mistimed it, and therefore Void is getting away, and he might just take the revenge top. All they need is a stun or silence on Exist, and Victor is the one who's charged for it. There's the silence, and that's pretty much it.
Sunstrike will get the last hit. Thank you, Invoker, for your contributions to this gank, but yeah, they will kill off the Queen of Pain nonetheless. Really, against that much disable, you need a BKB before that, but
but look in the mid. There's the arrow, but oh, Shenya, what did she do? He's shackling a Forge Spirit, so in the end he's going down, but also the Invoker has to pay for it now. Those units, Dumbass, that might be actually a bad idea, because they destroyed the Necro unit. How much HP does he have? And he's destroying it, using the Yule Scepter to avoid the damage, but this might actually be the time needed to catch up on him, and you can't move on here. And Witch Dog, negative earn charge, they're going for the right clicks here, and they still get the kill on the Skyrath Mage. So I guess good decisions here by the Death Prophet. In the end, Smite, they want to go on quicks here. There's the slow Chronosphere, and there should be also the follow-up here by Christine, at least getting him to slow, and now the stun. Yes, there it is, multicast ×2, easy going. So in the end, they get another deny. I think this is the 4th deny tower now. And yeah, this is bad news gold-wise even for Crypsis.
That was such a lucky bash from the Faceless Void, not just because it happened, but because it happened as soon as the Razor tried to static link. He denied the static link, which means he's going to be able to do his full amount of damage. If Faceless Void actually doesn't have that many damage items, he's very reliant on his base values plus his time lock, a little bit less now that he's picked up a Maelstrom. But he got the bash off right before the static link would have shut him completely down, and Razor might have had a shot to escape that. But unfortunately for the Razor, the time locks were not on his side, and now, with full out Bloodlust, they're going to shred this Roshan, and I don't think Crypsis can actually fight this.
Nope.
It seems like as soon as I came into this game, mYinsanity just stepped up their game.
Yeah, it's your presence, definitely. This Roshan is gonna go down uncontested, but this gives us also time to look at the comeback here. This is a crazy comeback. 4k to 4k on the other side. We have an 8k swing here right now in experience, and the gold craft is pretty much nullified. With this Roshan, they're even gonna get a small lead. So this is it. 26 minutes. We are 19 and 18. Roshan just went down, and now mYinsanity should be on both crafts again on their territory. So Crypsis, as I said, I had the feeling like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, they could have gone high ground, but they waited, and now with 2 Midases and these team fights, mYinsanity, they're just stepping up and working on that comeback. The question is now, do they win the next fight?
It's never too late to 322. They're going to go straight for that tower with Alacrity and Bloodlust on the Faceless Void. Somebody calm this guy down. He's way too hyper. He's going to get tagged with an arrow from the high ground. And there's Silence in with a huge Sonic Wave onto everyone. But there's not enough damage to actually kill off this Faceless Void. He's silenced. Needs a BKB, but he's going to wait for his his Aegis. Then he's going to drop the Chronosphere. Meantime, Quicks off to the side. Will hit with the multicast. Lots of skill there. Plus the Death Ward onto Quicks. It won't kill him off, but there's the Chronosphere onto Exist. But the Faceless Void is completely without support. There's the Meteor for Dumas and Exist. They will both take a fall, and Faceless Void will survive at 50 HP in the end. Now Mystic Flare onto Crit. He's going to put into a blender, and he's going to get down. Shadow Shaman and Razor are the only ones to survive. They're going to limp away from this fight, but mYinsanity losing the Aegis, but taking a convincing fight shortly thereafter.
And look at the Voodoo Restoration. Urn plus Voodoo Restoration, plus the mech should be ready in, 5 seconds. The sustain is just nuts, and of course they're all just amplified as well. Bloodlust, level 4, on multiple creeps. The Necro units, well, at least they're on cooldown, but yeah, what a fight. Cliff is down. We might see Rex here. They're not gonna give them up easily, but still, we might still see them. What is the decision? Yes, they're gonna go for the melee Rex here at the moment, and Quicks, nothing you can do except for Plasma Field at the moment, and yeah, those Rex there are down.
Can you do anything to stop this? They have 2 heroes, now 3 heroes, but Faceless Void by himself probably could have cleared all that out because he has so much plus damage from that Alacrity and then so much plus attack speed from the Bloodlust. It's a really easy smash and grab for mYinsanity. They take a nice convincing team fight, losing no one but the Aegis. I think they lost no one but the Aegis. And then take Raxes shortly thereafter. Crypsis, it looked so great for them, but I don't know exactly what went wrong. I mean, they had a nice Sonic Wave. They didn't really have many people caught in the Chronosphere. I guess they just didn't have enough damage output or not enough sustain in comparison.
I don't know, I mean, this was a 2-man chrono, but Quicks was caught out by multicast, plus the Death Ward almost brought him down, and in the end, he could have gotten away, but of course the, I think the Skywrath Mage, no wait, that was Crit, he actually finished off the Marana instead of the Razor, so the Razor I think got out of it, but the problem is he also did nothing that fight, except for, you know, just eating all the damage of those supports, so... Well, we are 30 minutes in, and after this fight, yeah, they just solidified what they already had. Like, this is a crazy swing. We almost see a 10k gold swing now, and for experience we have, like, yeah, 12.5k experience swing. That is one fight and a follow-up pretty much now in the mid. Of course, 2 towers, 2 Rex on top of it. This is a crazy comeback for mYinsanity.
And for Crypsis, the only questionable item they have is the Maelstrom on Razor, so you can't really blame them for pure itemization and the fact that that's losing them the game. It's just the playstyle. mYinsanity are getting more heroes caught in more things with their spells, and Crypsis, their burst is okay with the Queen of Pain, but if they don't take a decisive fight shortly after using that Sonic Wave, then they'll have the mech mYinsanity, they'll have the Voodoo Restoration, they'll have enough sustain so that everyone can weather the storm and then just keep plowing forward. And they're just going to do the exactly that up on top lane. Faceless Void opening up on this tower with that Maelstrom plus Bloodlust. Someone get this guy some Alacrity. He really needs it. I know you want to do it.
I already mouse over it. Yeah, at the moment he has a 3-8-1 attack speed just with the Bloodlust and the Arca Aura from the Necros. If he has Alacrity, he's gonna have like some 500-ish attack speed. This is even without Mask of Madness and stuff. This is just nuts. But either way, they're not even interested going into that fight. Like, they just go for tier 3 tower damage, and it's quite a lot. Look at what they do just to this tower with only some units.
And they'll be able to send Forge Spirit after Forge Spirit into that tower. Mid lane is also going to be pushing in, so mYinsanity, they're in absolutely no rush. They just have to make sure that their Faceless Void doesn't get hexed by a blinking Shadow Shaman. It looks like Crypsis might be going for a really long wraparound. This is a very smart decision for them. It's probably the best way to get a decent fight, but they have to go soon because their tower is taking a pretty good amount of chip damage.
Yep, absolutely. This tower down to 500 HP, and they can just keep on going. The next wave also has a siege grip in there. Unfortunately, of course, Necro is not ready, but still, with some right clicks here and there, Alacrity on a Forge Spirit. Look at the tower. This is slow siege alliance style, but I think they got enough. Crypsis got enough. They want to go.
Well, they see Quicks, they unleash with a stun, but now Zimach going to pop with the BKB, instantly taking down Shadow Shaman, so no hexes in this fight. Has Chronosphere still and will land it only onto 1, but that's going to be a very dead Death Prophet. Cuisine going to dodge a Sonic Wave, though I don't think it's going to matter. Crit's also going to be bashed down by the Faceless Void. Mystic Flare now onto Quicks, but the threat is really this Faceless Void. The rest of them, mYinsanity, have actually gone down. Quicks stealing 200 damage. He will give the Face Void an ultra kill, and Face Void, no, man up, get in there. He's gonna hit with an arrow, and that's gonna be his death. It's a full team wipe in favor of Crypsis. They finally get a fight going, and it's mostly due to this Razor.
Wow, wow, wow. This arrow there just made it completely worth it. Like, that was a monster kill ago, and I think Exist's way. Yep, that's 1,100 just for Exist. And this fight, it was really neat. I mean, they still lose the tier 3 tower, and in the mid they even lose more buildings, and the creeps are pushing already on the tier 4 towers, but it is a complete team wipe. And to be honest, I mean, I didn't like what Shenya was doing there, because Shenya was just going in and just dying to everything that was on, but they managed something really important, the Witch Dog. The Witch Dog was focused down or silenced, so I mean there was still the Voodoo Restoration ticking on everybody, but he died so fast that like over time it just didn't give enough health back, plus there was no Death Ward, and without Death Ward there was a lot less damage this fight, so this kind of destroyed the thing, but at least the Scarab Mage survived long enough to get another say it, Mystic Flare out that brought down the Razor at least in a range for the Void to finish him off. But the Void was like, yeah, I'm just TPing out and easy going, but what the hell is going on here? Like, Sunstrikes just randomly in the mid, just harass strikes.
Also, I'm pretty sure the Ogre Magi didn't get any multicasts this game, so he clearly needs to practice the hero and get a little bit more skill before he plays it again, because you need those multicasts to land. In the mid lane fight that led to Rax's, he got a 3x on the Razor, and ultimately the Razor didn't die, but hey, that's a lot more multicasts than he got in that last fight, where he only casted, I believe, 1 Fire Blast, and it didn't even multi. So if mYinsanity get a little bit luckier, then the fight will go their way, and you don't really get to hear that when you're casting a game of Dota, but with Ogre Magi, it ultimately does just come down to that in the end. But mYinsanity, after that fight, they are going to be slowed down a little bit, but not by a lot. They are still going to go for top lane, I feel. They did take down the tier 3 tower in the end. They're just going to do the same exact thing, except instead of going for a tower, it should be going for ranged Raxes.
Yep, we need a BKB on the Witch Dog. If the Witch Dog has a BKB, I just don't see this happening, but oh, they were just jumping on an illusion of Exist here. Check out the Roshan, but Roshan, we're gonna see him respawning, or like the exact timer of his respawn in about 5 seconds. So, give it 3, 2, 1.
I don't know why they just don't show it, like, from the start.
It's another minute. It's about 50 seconds. So Roshan comes back, so... Yep, the timing is not very optimal at the moment for mYinsanity, but maybe it's even good for them, because at the moment we have Exist scouting out here with the Invisibility Rune. They know exactly what's going on, and if they would go Roshan, they would be in a nice position to actually do something. But oh, Smite. Like, he's just casually running by that arrow, but oh, there's the Hex. But a stun here on Shenya already. They go in this fight. Crazy stuff going on.
Death Ward is going to be deployed, but it's not hitting out to anyone. In the meantime, backline Chronosphere, as Face Void tries to take a 1v4. It's a beautiful Chronosphere, but there's just simply no follow-up from the team. He's going to die before anything else. Finally, the Invoker arrives, but it's a little bit too late, I feel. Well, actually, the Chronosphere still did enough damage with that Mjolnir. They're going to chase down this Death Prophet. Exist off to the left side, will survive. Sunstrike with a Hex will kill off the Death Prophet. Crypsis, they lose 3. They might even lose 4, as Exist actually going to get a free kill on Victor, as he does Force Staff right by the Queen of Pain. Razine going to try to chase this Queen of Pain down, but he doesn't have enough mobility. mYinsanity, they have a beautiful Chronosphere with no follow-up, yet it still goes pretty well for them, because all the rest of the heroes that were not in the Chronosphere, mainly the Mirana, I think, or must have been someone else. I think it was Exist. He was getting beaten on by the rest of mYinsanity's team. That was pretty much a wasted Death Ward. If the Death Ward was a little bit closer, that would have been a clean sweep for mYinsanity.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, Christine tried to hunt here Exist down, but yeah, he just escaped really, really fast. But did you just see that, like, the Razor, by escaping, running away from that ward, he actually got in range so that the Aghanim Scepter boosted ward, like, bounced to the other heroes. The range on that was just insane. It was just insane. That's the funny part, because, like, from the Death Ward, there's a projectile going to a hero. If you're alone, it doesn't bounce, but even if you, like, let's say you have, like, a Bloodseeker with, like, I don't know, 2000 movement speed or something, like, in theory, you can kite those projectiles for quite a while, and if you go next to other heroes, like, the projectile still turns into, like, a projectile that bounces to other heroes, so it's really, really dangerous what he's doing there, pulling those projectiles there. It killed Shenya, for sure, and, oh, talking about Shenya, he almost got caught there. Either way, I can't even tell who that winner was out of this fight, because it was okayish for both sides. It could have been worse, but I mean, nobody like capitalized on it. No Roshan, but talking about it, we might just see this right now.
Roshan is going to be attempted. With the Buddha Restoration, it'll be extremely safe for mYinsanity. They will get scouted by an arrow, which will tag a Forge Spirit. So Roshan's not going to be doing too much damage to the mYinsanity heroes, and well, there's a Haste Rune on the Invoker that will instantly time out. Quick's going to jump forward, instantly going to get Hex and Fire Blast and Death Ward. They're going to bring down the Razor before he gets anything off. Z-Match is going to jump in. He has a Chronosphere, wants to use it. There we go, on Dumbass. That's going to be 2 down to 2 cores for Crypsis. Victor's going to get picked off by Exist on the top end. Meantime, it's going to be a Fire Blast with the Mirana, which will evaporate her life total. Roshan still being attempted, and mYinsanity, they lose the Skywrath. They take 3. After focusing so much on the Razor, he actually wasted his BKB charge on top of that. Huge win for mYinsanity.
Yeah, huge win. That's a 3-1 trade, plus a Roshan on top, and this Death Ward, full duration, god damn it. Like, first it brought down the Razor, nothing you can do. That's the funny part about Death Ward, it just is insane. BKB, nothing helps you there, it's just damage, 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 damage. And he was channeling. Look at it go.
Gotta play that reptile theme, because that was pretty much it. He didn't get the 5 kill, which is really when you want to play that music, but they're going to go in for the Raxes anyway. Going through mid, slide up to top, and Fortification will slow them down, but I don't think it's going to stop them. They're down the Death Prophet, plus they're down the Razor, and well, this Faceless Void just picked up a Daedalus, plus he has Cheese. Would have rather liked to see the Aegis on the Faceless Void, but the Witch Doctor has it, so I guess they really want to have that Death Ward going. They take the Raxes though, and they can stick around if they want, but really there's no reason to. They should back up and try to look towards bottom lane, take a 2-2. Exist is going to jump right in, instantly to the Chronosphere though. What are you doing, Exist? Why? Why are you doing this to me? Now the Faceless Void is going to jump forward. He's going to want to go for the Shadow Shaman. He gets Ward Trapped, which is going to be a little bit annoying, but he's not going to die from this one. Now Multicast plus the Sunstrike onto Dumbass. He's going to be brought down. Quick's dealing a lot of damage, but just not dealing enough. He's 1v5 right now, and he's going to get bashed down. That's GG called. Crypsis.
And team wipe.
322 is real.
Yeah, absolutely. mYinsanity here with a weak start and a lack of beautiful Chronospheres, but one team fight going through mid, Rex Tower tier 2, Roshan as a follow-up, and then, well, only one little setback with that fight we saw about 5 minutes ago. But yeah, this was a comeback, 10k experience and about 12.5k gold. From 0 to hero, or even from disadvantage to advantage, that's how it goes. So mYinsanity, they win both series here 2-0, and that's it pretty much. Like, we don't have a follow-up game here on HeflaMonk channel, but on HeflaTV 1 and HeflaTV 2 there are still games playing, so guys, just go there and watch your daily dose of Dota, I guess. Either way, if you like what we do here, then of course give us a follow, and yeah, on the HeflaTV team page you can also see the cast if you like them specifically. Follow those guys on Twitter, and on Facebook you always have our schedule, the news. So, see ya later.
Later guys, GG.